Welcome back to the Full-Time Ultras. It's the Manchester Derby, the FA Cup final, and we are here to look forward to it. It's going to be a cracking game, and we have Aditya, Poundland Pep Guardiola in his turtleneck here to discuss the game, and we also have Raghav, surprisingly looking smart today.
Thank you. Thank you.
The hair is still a doubt, but
Yeah, that's I've had a long day.
but we'll get into the Manchester Derby. But I think we have to start with last night's game, the Europa League final. Bayer Leverkusen's unbeaten run is finally it's dead. Brock Lesnar has beaten the Undertaker, and that's how Leverkusen's streak has finally ended. And it is the Italians, Atalanta, who have won their first European trophy. We'll quickly get your thoughts, Aditya, on it. You've been a big advocate for Bayer Leverkusen. They've finally been beaten. Impressed with Atalanta's performance?
Yeah, of course. They were very energetic. I had my doubts whether they would be able to keep it up for the full 90, but they did. And they gave Bayer no space whatsoever. They really stymied Xhaka in that midfield. I think Leverkusen did have a plan. Alonso did have a plan, but it fell short at the execution stage. And I think on another day they would have been more clinical with their chances. For example, there was a big chance for Grimaldo at 2-0, I think, where he could have lobbed the keeper, but he just hit it straight at the keeper. And more often than not this season, Leverkusen have converted those chances. But that said, Atalanta played a really, really good game, high intensity for the full 90. And Lookman, what a player, superb goals. The first
Perfect
one,
hat-trick.
yeah. Not a
technically perfect hat-trick,
hat-trick,
but
but
it's
In terms of
as
finishing.
good a
Yeah.
In
hat-trick
terms of finishing.
it can get. Like
Yeah.
clean finishes, all were clean finishes.
Of course.
The first one's who was it? Palacios, who
Yeah.
Ball watching.
his ball. He turns. He looks over his
He looked
shoulder
too late.
Oh yeah.
as Lookman's coming from
Yeah.
the other side, and sneaks in front of him. But the second goal's a peach, and the third goal's
Even
almost no. I think the second goal was probably the best of the bunch.
But even
yeah.
with that, I was really impressed with the first goal, considering Lookman has to do a lot.
No, yeah.
Like the way he opens up his
Exactly.
left foot was like it's a
True.
clinical finish. He
Yeah.
hit it perfectly and on the roof of the net as
Yeah.
well. No chance for
Yeah.
Kovar in goal. You were really impressed with Atalanta's tactics,
Yeah.
with how they were set up, man to man. Didn't give any of the Leverkusen players to breathe.
Yeah.
Wirtz was totally out of the game completely. Tell us more about
Yeah,
why
so-
you found it so interesting.
No, just the fact that this is all my personal opinion that a lot rides on Xhaka in this team, because we've said a lot in our previous videos that Xhaka keeps up the tempo and he pulls the strings for this Leverkusen team, and he keeps the tempo up, like just keep the ball moving. And yesterday Atlanta gave him no room to breathe whatsoever. Like whenever Xhaka got the ball, there was Kamaka, there was Lookman, there was the De Ketelaere. All three of them just suffocating Xhaka into just going back towards Star or just playing a wayward pass. And even Wirtz was just played out of the park yesterday. I couldn't see him. He grew into the game gradually, but he was nowhere near his best. But one mention I would like to make is that Edison,
The midfield.
the
Yeah.
midfield,
Koop
the-
Mainers
the-
as
the-
well.
Koop Mainers was really
yeah,
good.
Koop Mainers and Edison, both of them. What an incredible game they had. Edison was all over the pitch. I could see him marking. I could see him playing a ball to Lookman, and when Bayer Leverkusen are on the counter attack, I can see him tackling Adli.
They were pressing very high.
Yeah, they
When
were
Bayer-
pressing high, and Edison was full of energy for the whole 90.
Yeah.
Like he was everywhere and incredible energy. And Koop Mainers is Koop Mainers. Like no wonder that top clubs are targeting him.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's incredible all-round performance by Atlanta yesterday.
I agree. I think Koop Mainers practically with this game is got
Oh,
himself
yeah,
a big
yeah.
move
Yeah,
definitely
yeah.
coming through. The way he controlled the game, he has the ability to get past players as well so easily. I think Edison and Koop Mainers, they complement each other
Exactly,
so
yeah.
well.
Yeah.
Another impressive performance for me was Calvini when he came on in the
Yeah.
second half.
Exactly. Yeah.
The way he slotted into that game, I was like, and
Seamless.
he's been seamless. He's such a good player. We've been linked with him. Such a good player.
We're not
But-
getting it. Don't worry.
You never know. We have a very good relationship with Atalanta. So
Oh, yeah.
Ahmad and Hoyland. So and plus Ederson is a target. So
I
keep
would
that in
love
mind.
that guy, man.
Because the thing with Ederson was that he was a big target for Newcastle, and it was Ashworth. So yeah, really, I think there is something over there. So that's one player to look forward to. Ederson is a player to look forward to. But yeah, a big shock. Atalanta doing the unthinkable and beating Leverkusen. Leverkusen were mighty odds on favorites to win that game. So hopefully we can see another FA Cup, another cup final upset. That's what we are hoping for. And we'll straight away get into the build-up for the FA Cup final. It's the Manchester derby, guys. And
Chalo, मैं चलता हूँ.
I don't know, like, I was just talking to Aditya post the
Pre the show.
pre us recording this video, and I just felt, I don't know, I have this positivity in me. I don't know why. I feel there could be something that could happen. I don't know, because maybe City looked a little bit nervy. Maybe we've got players back. The last 2 games were wins, good wins, some morale in the team. But I'll start with you, Raghav, on the Manchester United front. Terrible season, finished 8th. Horrible points tally, injury issues, takeover, whatever, all the rumors surrounding Ten Hag, whether this is his last game, whether he will continue. What is your overall take on where we are currently and the hopes for the final? How are you, positive or what?
I'm actually neutral about this game because I seriously can't say which Manchester United is gonna show up, because the past 3 games we played really well. Like it's not that we've performed terribly. Okay, of course our position on the league table is horrible. It says a lot about our season. It says everything about our season, but it's mainly down to, I'm positive in the fact that our players are back.
Yeah.
We're getting most of our players back. Lisandro is back. We're hoping to have Varane.
Varane will be fit. They'll
fit.
start. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and Dallo has been one of our standard performers this season. The few bright lights of the. So and Onana has redeemed himself after a very shaky start. So when I see that back 5 in keeper and back 4, I can see a lot more strength and a lot more dependability when I look at it. So in terms of that,
there
I'm a
is
little
a
bit positive.
spine that
There's
looks
a spine,
set. Yeah.
Like when we cross Bruno and the ball comes into our half, I'm not scared that, oh my god, it's a goal. Ye goal hai, confirm. So I'm not going to go into that mentality because I have some hope. Because Lisandro, whenever he plays, he plays like a warrior for us. He's been a warrior whenever he's played. And yeah, and Hoyland, he's performed whenever he plays. His play is really good. He generally performs well, and his last 2 goals have been really good.
Very clinical.
Like he's been clinical. He's not just had a tap in. He's
ran at players. Yeah.
He's ran at players. He's linked up play. He's played a 1-2 with Eriksen against Brighton and then scored a goal. And yeah, I'm actually a bit neutral, but little bit on the positive side.
What are your thoughts on? We'll get you to talk about City a little bit more, Aditya. What are your thoughts on United going into this game? Like, should United feel confident a little bit, because in the end it's a cup final. It's just a one-off game, and yeah, United have been beat by City this time, but at the Etihad, I think they held City for quite a while. 70 minutes they held City, and then after that it turned. But do United have something to hold on to, that hope to hold on to going into this game, that they could get something?
Of course, there's always that hope. As you said, it's a cup final, it's a one-off game. You never know what's going to happen, and it's usually a nervy occasion. Like, cup finals tend to be very cagey affairs. You don't often see the kind of free-flowing football that you usually see in like the league game or like earlier stages of the competition. So yeah, of course, United have a chance. They can nick one, but against the City side, the danger is also that you can get a goal. You can almost like get a goal too early,
Hmm.
and then you try to protect that lead, and they will eventually break you down. They will wear you down and break you down. But I think with a fully fit squad, especially, and you all have got some momentum now. Like the last two games have been decent, like
Yes.
good performances, good results at least. So yeah, there is definitely some cause for hope. How much? I don't think it's much, but I think there is something there.
Let's get into Manchester City, Aditya. They've won the title. We've discussed that loads at length. They will surely be disappointed with how their Champions League campaign ended, and they would surely want to like redeem themselves in terms of kind of getting another trophy, making it a successful. Because one trophy for City, considering their standards, is not a successful season.
Of course not. Yeah.
Like the bar they've raised, right? So they will definitely want to win this game, and especially this being a Manchester derby. They've also not looked like the City of old. There is a little bit of nerviness in them. But tell us a little bit more about City, how they would approach this game based on how they have approached finals before.
I think Pep in general is a very control-based manager. He's made no kind of mystery about it. He prefers control. He prefers keeping the ball. And in finals especially, he has this tendency to be extra cautious. So I wouldn't be surprised if tactically he goes for like a very very heavily possession based game, which would also play into your hands, because I think
We wouldn't want the ball that much.
exactly,
I feel.
yeah,
Yeah.
and you all will play more of a chaotic, like it's control versus chaos basically.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be. It could look like attack versus defense for a long period of the game, but yeah, I mean, I don't see much that will change in Pep's approach in that sense.
Do you think he would be? What I have always noticed from City in finals is that they always tend to overthink a little bit, and Pep, as usual, tries to overthink.
Yeah,
He's had a decent record in finals,
yeah.
but do you think in a scenario with like thinking on the point of United, it's a different game considering it is a final.
Yeah.
So do you think Pep trying kind of getting his tinkering with his lineup a little bit, trying to do something really different? Do you see that from City?
Honestly, this time I don't. I think Pep will go with his what has worked for him so far. I think winning that fourth title has lifted a lot of that kind of weight. Like, he's achieved what no other manager has done before. He's won 4 straight Premier League titles. So I don't think he will feel that kind of pressure as much, and as a result, I think he will, go with a very basic and very strong, both lineup wise and system wise. Like, you've got Ortega, Akanji, Diaz, Walker, Guardiola, Rodri, and I think this is a bit like, so Rodri, Bernardo, De Bruyne, and Foden have to start, and then it's between Kovacic and Doku, because depends on who plays where. It's either Bernardo and Rodri in the middle and Doku providing width, or Walker providing the width, and then Kovacic and this guy Rodri in the middle.
Yeah.
And then Haaland obviously has to start. So I think he's not like that's the only kind of
So
one.
basically, how would you line? How do you think that he would line up in this game? If we go like just player to player, if we start with Ortega and
Ortega, Diaz and Akanji in centre back, Walker on the right, Guardiola on the left.
Do you think he'll go more pragmatic in midfield? Go with that Kovacic
and Rodri? I think that is possible.
Yes.
I think that's the only kind of change I see happening. Rodri, Kovacic, De Bruyne, Bernardo, Foden, and Haaland. It's what, 10, 11?
Yeah, I think you got it right.
I've covered 11.
Yeah.
I think that's what's gonna.
So you're just saying that he'll go for more balance than attack.
Yeah, I don't,
because the lineup you named is like it's more towards the balance side.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't know, but I think Doku's cooled off a lot
Yeah.
as the season's progressed. Grealish has not been great this season.
I think he's just not got a run of games.
That's
Like,
true, but like
Grealish has
purely
not
because
played
of
only.
Doku.
yeah, but
purely
then
because of Doku and like Pep has basically again I feel that he's changed the system as the season has progressed, and he's gone for Foden, and like when De Bruyne has been out, he's gone for Foden and Bernardo,
yeah.
the fluid front three type thing.
Yeah, but now that De Bruyne is back, surely like the double 10 system is going to be
Yeah.
back.
Yeah.
It's going to be Foden, De Bruyne running those half spaces. Doku, I don't think will start because I think he's the City player who's lost possession the most this season. And that in a final is like that's
And
something.
he would want Doku to come on to the
Yeah,
game
as
to
in-
influence. Tired legs, I think
yeah,
that
exactly.
is what he would
He
want.
can be an impact sub. I don't think. I think as a manager who craves control, in a cup final, I think he will go with a more balanced. As you
As a
said, more
manager
safe.
who likes control, Grealish and Doku are the most anti-Pep players.
No, I think Grealish is quite good at slowing down the game and holding on to the ball.
on to the ball.
I think Doku is the more erratic kind of.
He's a. I don't know how Pep has signed Doku. He's like-
I was
And he
shocked.
such
blossomed,
a transition
He
player.
played, no, he
Doku is.
played a little. He played well initially.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
then he's not
Yeah, he's not had
like
the,
in some
yeah,
games. Yeah, you will
need
kind
that.
of you'll need that, but he's like he doesn't hold on to the ball that much. He's
Yeah.
like such a
very
and
attack.
yeah.
attack
He's
the
a
defense
he's a
type
he's a
player.
United winger is what I feel. He's
He's
like
way
totally
too direct for a Pep team. Honestly
Exactly,
speaking,
yeah.
that was my first impression when that move was announced, and I think I've mentioned earlier in this podcast that it does seem like a bit of like a breath of fresh air. But I don't think Pep will be breathing fresh air if Doku loses the ball too many times in a cup final. He'll be mad if that
So with
happens.
City having the likes of you said the 2 10s,
Yeah,
so they are bound to play a little bit more compact in the midfield rather than having width, because Foden and De Bruyne, like you said, the 2 10s, they like to operate more in the middle spaces.
Yeah.
Because for me, I feel Foden out wide is it doesn't.
no, it doesn't make
United
sense.
would be very happy keeping
course.
Foden out wide.
Yeah.
I know he cut through and he gets that second goal in the derby, and
Yeah.
that was Victor Lindelof at left back.
Yeah,
I'd expect Van Bissaka to close him down better, not allow him to get that shot
yeah.
in. But Foden out wide, I think we would be really happy to keep him out wide. So do you think Pep is thinking somehow that we need to keep this more in the center of the park?
No. So like the way they play, they do transition into that 3-5 shape. So Walker provides width on one side, and then Bernardo will provide width on the other side. You'll have those three centre backs. Like I think Guardiola will be more reserved if Walker's playing on this side. So you've got Guardiola, Kanji, and Diaz in that kind of three, and then you've got Coaches and Rodri just in front of them. And with Bernardo and Walker providing the width, that will stretch your back four to provide those spaces for like Foden and De Bruyne to run into, and then Haaland's of course it's basically he tries to create that 5 versus 4
Yeah.
in that area of the pitch. So I don't think his team will be devoid of width, but obviously there's no mystery in the fact that Guardiola prefers to control the midfield is the key. Obviously, is always the center of the pitch is the key. It's something he's also got from chess, because chess again you control the center of the board and you control you more often than not you control the game, and that's kind of bled into his footballing philosophy as well.
So we'll move on to the red half of Manchester. Like City, like Aditya said, that they have a set template. They know basically what their best 11 is. They've gone on a winning run of whatever 10, 12 games, and they have that lineup pretty much set, right? They are best 11 players. They know what they're going to do. With United, it's been a different story this season. We've never had a consistent set of players playing anywhere on the pitch, right? But now suddenly, like after the press conference coming in, Ten Hag saying that everyone is fit except Maguire and Shaw. So you have the likes of Lisandro back. Lisandro's already back. Varane played against Brighton. Lindelof is back. Martial is training as well. Mason Mount is back. So suddenly, from nothing, in the space of 2 weeks, you practically
Almost have everything.
have everyone.
Yeah.
So that is also a big headache
Yeah.
for Ten Hag, because especially now in the middle as well, Amrabat was
Yeah.
he was really, really good for these two games. But then Casemiro against Brighton was fantastic.
Yeah.
So another head scratcher, like who do you play, right? Obviously Casemiro won't continue in defense. I hope not, for the sake of my heart, already fragile heart. He's definitely going to come in midfield. Varane and Lisandro hopefully. Rashford's back fit. So a lot of head scratchers. I just want to get your thoughts on it. How would you want United to line up? And how do you think United get the better of this City side?
So I think the back five, the keeper and back four, I think are pretty settled. It's going to be Onana, it's going to be Wan-Bissaka, Lisandro, Varane and Dalot. In midfield, I would want Ten Hag to make a brave and bold choice. Go for Menu and Amrabat. I wouldn't want Casemiro to play here, just purely based on the fact that Amrabat has done well in that role. Because you take out Amrabat for Casemiro purely based on the fact that Casemiro is playing in defense because of the unavailability of the centre backs. And when I'm performing in the midfield role, and you're taking out because just to fit in Casemiro into that role, I would feel that it's unfair to Amrabat.
He's basically picking Casemiro due to his stature.
His stature, like 5 Champions Leagues, Real Madrid, whatever it is. Last season he played well. I don't think that should be any reason for picking Casemiro over Amrabat. Last two to 3 games he's performed really well, and I think he deserves this chance. Alongside Menu is locked. I think Amrabat alongside Menu should be our double pivot in midfield. And I would not play Rashford in this final. Don't play Rashford. No, seriously.
Bruno is locked as well.
Bruno, Højlund are locked. I would play Garnacho and Ahmad. I would play them in this final literally, because this lineup has basically been a lineup except for the defense. I'm towards the front half of the field. This has been a lineup for the past 3 games. Like Ahmad has gotten a run of 2-3 games. Garnacho has been a mainstay in this team. Bruno, we've broken Bruno into missing games through injury.
Yeah, but he's played fantastically well last 2 games.
I mean, Bruno is Bruno.
Just shows how good he is. Yes.
So that would be my choice, because I wouldn't want Rashford to just come in out of injury and just to straight slot in into the
first 11.
First 11. That too at a cup final, FA Cup final, and Ahmad. I think he's been a bright spot in the last few games that he's got a run in, and I think he also deserves a chance.
In a game like this, you need players who can retain the ball well. The ball sticks to Ahmad. Yeah. He's center low.
Man, seriously.
Ahmad is like such a Manchester City like player. Like
he is, but if I look at him, I don't look at he doesn't look like a strong player.
Yeah.
But when you look at his ball retention,
the ball sticks to his feet.
It sticks to his feet, and he's
that
really strong.
Low center of gravity type player.
He's really strong as well. On the ball. So I'm really glad with that. And I would pick Diallo over Rashford.
So how would your lineup look?
So it would be Onana. It would be Wan-Bissaka left back, Lisandro, Varane, Dalot right back, Menu and Amrabat double pivot, Bruno number 10, Garnacho on the left, Ahmad on the right, and Højlund up front.
I'll throw you a curveball here. In the last 2 games, both of the games against Newcastle and Brighton, we've benched Højlund. We've played an extra midfielder. We've played Bruno as a false 9.
Yeah.
And we've gone with Ahmad and Garnacho and McTominay
as the extra midfielder.
Like sometimes even McTominay was playing as that late runner into that false 9.
Yeah.
Against City, who are going to be so dominating in that midfield area. Would you go with an extra midfielder in this game?
No. I would go with Højlund. I would go with Højlund because in case we have a really bright start, we need a finisher. Because Bruno should, for me in a cup final, Bruno has to be in that creative role. You can't expect him to play a false 9 and expect him to be on the in transition. You expect him to finish as well, because Bruno is at his best when he's at the number 10 free roaming role. You give him, he'll create chances for you at will. So I would go for Højlund, because if we have a bright start, if we have one chance in the first 10 minutes, I would want to have Højlund there, because we'll have a target man whom we expect to finish. So yeah,
I would
Højlund
ask you, if you were thinking, like, keeping City in mind, as to we've discussed how City are going to line up, what would you do? Would you go with that extra attacker, or would you go with that extra midfielder just to solidify things?
I think in terms of United, I don't think United have disciplined enough. Like in McTominay, I don't think he doesn't have the discipline to like do that kind of like disruptive work. He can do it, but I don't think he will do it as effectively. So I think I agree with him. I think Højlund gives you an outlet. I think you all will play more on the counter. And I think I pretty much agree with what Raghav said. I think, is Anthony injured though?
No, he's fit.
He's
Everyone's
fit because the one doubt I had with your lineup is, when you know these guys are going to bombard, like, you know, the extra width, as I mentioned, from Bernardo and Walker.
Work rate
From Anthony going that way.
Mm.
It can make a huge difference.
I think
Ahmad
Ahmad
really
works
good.
pretty
Yeah,
hard.
He works pretty hard.
The thing
He tracks
why
back.
I would prefer...
That's why I don't want Rashford to play. Main reason.
No, of course, yeah.
That guy's work rate is... I mean, let's
and
have
also the
another
thing
discussion.
what Anthony, of course Anthony has the work rate, he'll drop back and everything, but his ball retention is so poor.
Going forward,
Like,
he's
he
not
will
that great.
win the ball, but then he will immediately lose it as well.
Yeah.
So I would rather have someone who you know, if I'm passing to, I would have 90% of the times he won't lose the ball.
Yeah.
Like, he'll play a safer, he'll keep the game
Yeah.
rotating.
Yeah.
So I think that's where I think that Ahmad is a safer choice.
Yeah.
But in midfield, what do you feel?
Midfield, I think I agree with Raghav again. Like, Amrabat's been quite good, and if you all feel a bit adventurous, we know that Dallo likes to push up, inverted or otherwise. Amrabat can
Cover the space.
Slot in,
he
yeah.
can slot in between the centre backs, split the centre backs. You can have that kind of, you can go into your own 3-2 kind of formation.
Yeah.
And you know, if you want to hold on to the ball or be more possession based. So I think he gives you a lot more options. I don't think Casemiro can play that role as well. But yeah, I think the number of options you have can make it a bit confusing for you.
Yes.
That's going to be tricky. And with against the likes of City, if you get it wrong from the start and they start bright, within 15 minutes they're 2-0 up and then you're out of the game anyway. So you can't afford to
go defensive at the start.
Exactly. You can't afford to get it tactically wrong at the start. And that is one thing that your options, I know it's a good thing that you have all these players back, but having so many options can also be to your detriment in this case.
But I think that the amount of options that we're talking about, many of the options are coming right out of injury, and I don't think Ten Hag is going to just throw these players into the limelight, throw these players into the starting 11 in a cup final.
No, of course
I don't
not.
think the players like Mount, Rashford, Lindelof, they're not going to be much of headaches. And even Eriksen, for that matter, is not going to be a headache
They're
for
not going to
Ten
start,
Hag.
definitely.
So if you trim it down like that, then you're basically left with the same 13 players. It's just that you have your regular back 4 back.
You have your two centre backs fit.
Yeah. You have 2 fit centre backs. You have 2 proper full backs, not a proper left back, but you have 2 full backs who know the role. And I think in midfield also it's pretty much locked. And I think Mason Mount off the bench could make a difference with his
I feel what
energy.
I think should propel United a little bit more is the quality of the ball playing ability from our centre backs.
Yeah.
Because Varane and Lisandro were 2 key players for us last season in terms of how they progress the ball.
Yeah.
Lisandro is fantastic on the ball. Like, the line breaking passes, the composure to take the ball under pressure from Onana as well. The ability to cross field the ball as well. He's brilliant in that. He was one of our key players. He literally builds the game from the back. So I think that will be a big change for us in terms of how we play. But I just want to again come back, Raghav, to you on the Casemiro and the Amrabat debate. You're obviously saying that we should go with Amrabat, but Casemiro is such a big game player. Like, also his ability to pop up from set pieces. Like Carabao Cup last season, I
Yeah.
also remember the
Yeah.
header he scores. Like
Yeah.
this season also couple of times he's got really close.
FA Cup.
Uh,
He scored the FA Cup winner against Nottingham.
yes, the FA Cup winner. Yeah, I keep forgetting. Yeah, so that ability to pop up, he's really good in set piece plays. So will there be pressure? Will Ten Hag go safe? That's what I feel because
No, but it's not about going safe. It's about that who can give you that quality in a cup final. Because I feel that this season Casemiro, fantastic player, like his accolades are unmatched, and there's no doubt about
Not
that.
unmatched.
Okay, sorry, but my only worry is that he doesn't have the legs that he had previously. He's not in his prime. Like you give me prime Casemiro, I would please come into the starting 11. You give me last season's Casemiro, I would happily take him. But this season he's lost his legs and he's not able to cover space the way he covered last season. So and in a cup final against City, you would want every inch, every blade of grass to be covered by your midfielders. And Menu, like full of energy, and Amrabat, I feel that will bring that energy that is necessary to curb to a certain extent this city side. Whatever we can do in our power, I think Amrabat can do in covering that spaces in midfield.
So how do you think United can get? How would you see United getting past this City? What do you think United need to do?
The most obvious answer is transition and counters. I think United have been far too disrupted this season to try and play through City. City are a set team. They've been playing this way for years, and we like a lot of people talk about Liverpool's press. City's press is unbelievably organized.
Yeah.
They're so good at hounding you when they have to hound you, and they'll force those turnovers. And I know y'all have quality. I'm not denying any of that, and y'all might even play through them like 4 or 5 times. But the risk is too high, and I don't know if Ten Hag will see that as worth it at a stage where y'all have not had the time and the games to gel in that style of play this season. So I'd say probably counter-attacking is your best hope, because City do tend to come on to teams a little too much for their own good
And
sometimes.
they are giving a lot of chances away this season.
yeah, of
because I
course.
think about Spurs also.
Yeah,
Towards the end of the game,
Yeah.
Kulusevski had that, Son had that,
yeah,
clean through on goal.
yeah,
Against Forest, I remember so many chances.
yeah.
Chelsea, the game at the Etihad, like so many clear shot chances.
Yeah, of course. Should have put that to bed in the first
It's
half.
like I think United, and also the big thing is that United need to be clinical.
Yeah.
They
I was
need
going to say
to
that.
they need to take their chances, because
Yeah.
I also remember we were 1-0 up, and
Yeah,
then
yeah, yeah.
Rashford gets that chance through on goal, and then he just messes up that header.
Yeah.
If he just heads the ball more forward, he's clean through on goal, and it's
Yeah.
2-0, and then the entire pressure is back on City. So, and even in the final, I think even I look back to Inter against City in the Champions League final, the amount of chances Inter had in that game as well, Mr. Lukaku. But we all have everyone, Sarvajanik
yeah,
Lukaku for everyone. But yeah, that's the only hope I have, and I feel that maybe City do not look like the City of last season. They have that. They have that. That nerviness in them. They will give you a chance, but for me, we have to take that chance.
I think that's another reason for me to say that Højlund should play.
Yeah.
Because if we get a chance, I want someone as like Højlund is really clinical. He is good at taking chances. Whenever he's got a chance, I think he's at least hit the target. Like it's not like you never know what you're gonna get with Rashford. Is he gonna hit the target or no? With Højlund, I know that I think at least 8 out of 10 he's gonna hit the target.
Yeah.
So I would want someone like that in the first 15 minutes if we're gonna get a chance.
And another thing is Højlund presses very well.
Yeah.
You do not want the City defenders
To settle on the ball.
to settle on the ball and to have enough time to like pick a
Exactly.
pass, and
Yeah.
you want someone on them who will keep them on
Yeah.
their toes. So I think playing Højlund in that way is also beneficial.
Yeah.
What do you want to see from this United team?
I think just start well. Don't let City settle, and show some character and show some energy, man. Like, don't play like which game? Don't play like Palace.
You remember last year's FA Cup final?
Yeah, that's why I want Amrabat. I don't want
I-
Casemiro because there's going to
funny story. We had gone to the MUSM screening. We are going this year as well. And the whistle started, and we were like all getting like, let's go United, United. We are all getting settled in.
Pin drop
20
silence.
seconds, the first goal is scored. We're like, what the hell, man? Like, come on, dude, what the hell? Like, everyone's getting settled in. The atmosphere is building, and like after 3 or 4 seconds, everyone's like, what the hell is going on? It was a De Gea error as well, no?
No,
Like-
no, no.
No.
Eriksen
It was a
didn't-
clean strike.
Eriksen didn't cover the space.
Oh yeah.
It was a
correct,
clear-
correct. And
They
everyone
had no
was like
chance.
abusing, and they're like, what
They
the
had
hell
no
is
chance.
what the hell's happening, and this and that is. So yeah, I think we cannot allow
Yeah.
City to score first. We cannot
We've
let that
done
happen.
No, I think even last year when they scored first, I don't think we were rattled.
Yeah, it
came
was.
back.
Yeah, it
We
was
came
not.
back. It was not a
Yeah.
demolition after they scored
Yeah.
first. But that's what the character that I'm talking about.
Hmm.
Don't let your guard down. Don't let them. If they score, then just say that okay, we can come back. It's like there are 90 minutes. Like even if they score in the 30th minute, okay, there's 1 hour to go.
Yeah.
So that's the character that. I'm
And
talking
City
about.
are also nervy. For me as a United, I would like United to make it chaos.
Yeah,
I would
that you
like
will.
United to disrupt City,
Yeah,
like silly fouls. Not allow them to get into the groove.
The nibbly ones, not the yellow card.
I
ones.
hope I also hope the referee doesn't go straight from like the 3rd minute. Like I don't know who the referee is, but yeah, it's definitely going to be someone bad. But yeah, I would like United to get those silly fouls just to disrupt the flow of the game. We'll go with
madly.
नाम में ही mad लिखा है तो yeah, I do not expect anything from these referees, but quickly we'll go with the predictions. I'll start with you. What do you feel will happen in this?
3-1 City.
3-1 City. Who scores first? Who scores? United score first?
No, I think City do get the first goal.
And we'll get a consolation.
Yeah, like I maybe I don't know, maybe 1-1 or 2-1 and then 3-1. Go ahead, say it. Say it.
2-1 United.
2-1 United. Okay, narrate. Like, paint us a picture.
I think it's going to be a Bruno penalty. I'm serious. It's gonna be a Bruno
Bro,
penalty.
yesterday's prediction was crazy, huh? The
Yeah,
last Roman Powell to
The
hit a
idea.
6 and finish the game. He got that right.
Cricket.
Yeah,
Cricket,
cricket.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, thanks turtleneck.
he
What?
he predicted the end pretty spot on. So yeah, go on. I wanna listen.
It's gonna be a Bruno penalty.
We're gonna
and-
take the lead.
Yeah, we're gonna take the lead, and then we're gonna be pegged back.
Who's gonna score for City?
I'm gonna say Bernardo Silva, and it's going to be Alejandro Garnacho to win us the FA Cup final.
Whoa, which minute?
इतना पूछेगा तो क्या बोलूं भाई
अरे,
मैं?
पूछ रहा हूँ ना,
बोल-
like
Hang on.
I'll say 75th minute.
You're the person who said, what was your prediction? The bold one? Arsenal will.
Arsenal, yeah.
You
Spurs.
gave like. No, the last
The
game.
late
week
goal,
one.
right?
The
It was a late goal.
Arsenal
that they
will win it
won
in
by.
the something minute. City will draw and then something will happen. like you gave like 5 stipulations for that. So
but like 50%
No, at least
Was
Arsenal
right.
won with the late goal.
late.
It was Odegaard, not Rice.
it was
little bit-
Havertz actually, but sure.
Yeah, it was.
Oh,
Uh,
Havertz, sorry.
yeah, but
Your prediction.
I don't know.
Mr. Positive
I feel
feeling.
very, very positive. I don't know why. Like, obviously, the mind is saying that it is City,
Yeah.
But for me, I feel confident on a lot of aspects, and I will feel because I'm supporting my club, so I'm
Yeah.
going to go for it. My heart says United. My heart says United for the only reason because I think we have our players back, and for some reason, I have not been convinced with City
Yeah.
entirely. I do not know how more teams have not taken advantage of this City team.
Could have been us in this final.
Exactly. Like I look at some of the key games, and I don't feel City were deserved winners in those games. Like we come and we say that City did well, and That's a champion mentality. They'll, even if they don't play well, they'll win the games. But when I see those chances, Forest and everything, I'm like, how have City not dropped more points, and
Yeah.
how have Arsenal not won the title? So that fills me with hope a little bit, and I just feel that I just hope that the players turn up, because I feel that if these players turn up, we have the quality to
Exactly.
beat City. We've
Yeah.
done it at Old Trafford last season.
Yeah.
We've given them a competitive game at the Etihad with so many injuries as well. So I just somehow feel confident. The heart will go with a 2-1 prediction as well for Manchester United. But then obviously favorites, it is City. They know how to win these games. And then plus the added pressure of what's going to happen with Ten Hag is,
Yeah.
it's going to be a very, very tricky situation, whether the players are really going to pour their hearts off out for a manager who maybe they know might not be staying this season. That's why I was not happy with the owners not coming out and making it clear as to
Yeah.
what's going to happen, because when the players kind of have the inclination knowing that he might not be there next season, so why do we need to play, so that should not be their mentality.
Obviously not.
There's a
Didn't-
trophy on
yeah.
stake, there's a
And-
bloody Europa League,
And it
on-
didn't hamper
on the
us.
line.
So like
yes,
mentality wise, we played our best football in the last 5 games
Yeah.
in that kind
but
of
I
uncertainty.
don't think this is comparable. I don't think the Chelsea players thought that Poch
They
was
never
getting
expected that.
I
with
mean,
the messages coming in, like the tribute.
Yeah. Fair enough.
I don't think they were expecting Poch to get sacked. Like, I thought that the Chelsea players would. They thought that maybe the club and Poch would come to a
Yeah.
compromise
Of
somewhere.
course. Yeah.
I don't think that anyone was expecting a sacking to, or a mutual
Parting
split
of ways. Yeah.
to
It's
come
split.
that quickly. So I
Yeah.
think it's a little bit of a different scenario, but I think we will be there. Me and Raghav will be at the official United screening, and hopefully we'll get some footage for you from there. Hopefully with a win. But yeah, it's going to be a really, really tricky game, and hopefully United are the team to end City's dominance, at least in England, and not give them another double. But yeah, till then, do the usual, like, share and subscribe to the video. Let us know in the comments who are favorites to win this game. Do you think it's going to be a boring City win, or do you think United will do the upset and will win the FA Cup? And also do not forget, like I said again, to subscribe to the channel, because our goal is to get to 500 subscribers. That's when we will do the giveaway. We are at 350 subscribers at the moment, and we want you to hit that button so that we can provide you more content. And like we love to do, Euros also coming up, so turn the notification bell on so you get to know when our videos drop. But yeah, we'll take your leave. Take care, guys, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.